with the lion.
The following is an EHC media production. Watching the WWE 24 coverage of WrestleMania 34 was amazing. Just brought chills to my skin and reminded me of how great it felt when I was live there in New Orleans.
Don't get the music confused. This is the Retro Show. This is the Retro Rewind. What's going on, RWT family, Smart Mark Radio listeners, and wrestling fans around the world? This is your boy, Moses Marquez, and I'd like to thank you for joining me here on a new episode of the award-winning podcast, Smart Mark Radio. But this is not Smart Mark Radio. This is the Retro Rewind. This is just brought to you by Smart Mark Radio. My apologies for the tickle in the throat. Hope the music gives a hint. We got a lot to get into. Royal Rumble 2001. I will be joined by Emir Blackbane Costello, and the resident dead man of RWT, Paul Morales, shortly. Let's not waste any time. Stand by. Okay, here we are. We're back. I'm joined with Emir Blackbane Costello and the resident dead man of RWT, Paul Morales. If he cuts in and out, it is because we have internet connection issues, so I apologize for any problems now, but we're in for a treat. What's up, guys?
What's going down, Playboy?
Life as we know it is going down. This awesome pay-per-view we saw is going down. The Royal Rumble 2001.
What up?
There he goes. He's going to come in and out like RoboCop did.
I'm here. Cutting out worse than your girl whenever you're in the bedroom naked.
Dang, no, she's just like, fine, I guess. They just give in after a while. It's okay.
Right?
It's whatever. We make it happen anyway.
Worried.
I'm not worried. Okay, so I don't want to waste too much time. We're going to jump like right on into this thing just so we don't lose anything. Okay, Royal Rumble 2001 from New Orleans, Louisiana. Show starts off with a gigantic pyro show. It's still the WWF. No promos, no video packages. Bang, boom, bam. Right to a match. And that match is the Dudleys versus Edge and Christians for the Tag Team Championships.
That was literally my first note, that the show started with pyro. My second note, which led to a poll question I put in the RWT group on Facebook, was the fact that this was still at a time where WWE was doing unique sets for every pay-per-view. Also, holy shit, did everybody in the crowd have a crowd sign? And then the other part was the fact that they went live to WWF New York when that was still a thing.
That's right, WWF New York was a legit thing. It was like a restaurant or something. I was like, I'm going to go there one day.
They had a legit restaurant in New York that, was workable for them.
Can I say something else too, guys? I think that this is worth noting because I'm confused by this. I'm slightly wrestling stupid when it comes to this, and I'm hoping one of you guys can explain it to me. So this was a WWF pay-per-view, correct?
Yes.
When the pay-per-view came on, WWF was everywhere. It was like, welcome to WWF Royal Rumble. However, at a certain point when they were showing the promo package or whatever they were showing, when Edge said WWF tag titles, they bleeped out WWF when it came out of his mouth.
But that happened periodically throughout the show. Like everybody every now and again would get that, you would hear the WWF and then some of them would be like WW. It was weird.
So is it you think the terms of the lawsuit were like, you can only say it X amount of times per show, or you're gonna get sued?
Probably. They're
I'm
like,
not
you can't
even
say
sure.
more than
I'm
20
not even
times.
sure if there was a limit to how many times they had to say it per show.
They just need to show them that they bleeped it once.
The lawsuit, right? So at a certain point, some lackey has to now go back through every piece of WWF footage and edit out. Let's just say they go, you can't use the term WWF more than 10 times per show. They now have to go back through every piece of video that they mean to repost and only allow it to be said 10 times. And any time more than that, then it has to be bleeped out. But how crazy would that be? Like the time it would take to do that?
That's fine. I'll take that job.
Yeah. Can I have that job to go back through everything and edit out?
Yeah, just all I got to do is edit all day, and I just watch old footage. Yeah, I'm down. Let's go. Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's already
and
done. That's
to watch
BS.
some of the best pay-per-views in history. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking.
I'm sold. Okay, so I will say this video promo for the Dudleys Edge and Christian match. Chair shots, I forgot like how big of a deal chair shots was. You had the concerto, you just like there was just everybody beating the crap out of people with chairs in 2001.
Yeah.
I made a note at three things real quick. Crazy how young Mike Chioda looked.
Seriously.
About that. The other thing was, this was still at a time where JR was referring to Edge and Christian as brothers, actually. Like they were still trying to put them over as actual brothers.
Yeah. Well, same thing with Bubba Ray and Devon.
Yeah.
Right, but that was always kind of their gimmick. But I just felt like at a certain point, Edge and Christian stopped being referred to as brothers and just became best friends on air. I don't know when that change happened. And then the other thing was that this is obviously before that Will Smith concussion movie and all like about safety, because part of the storyline was that the Dudleys were working even though they had concussions, and that's not a thing that would happen in 2019.
Oh hell no, it wouldn't happen in 2019. Hell, it wouldn't happen in 2018, let alone maybe 2017, maybe, but no way.
Maybe 1 or 2 chair shots. Maybe at Extreme Rules, you may get 1 or 2. You know, you may get 3 or 4, but nothing like the way it was at this era, at this time.
Yeah, they were beating the bejesus out of each other with chairs. So let's just get into this match. This was quick.
Wait. One more thing.
Go ahead.
Can I say that Howard Finkel was the best? Was the best ring announcer.
I have it written here.
You think he's better than JoJo? Are you kidding me?
Okay, hold on. I have the perfect counter argument for this. They're equally as awesome. Why? Because JoJo looks as good as Howard sounds.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's how you explain that shit. Yeah.
That's how you explain it. What about Tony Chimmel?
I love Tony Chimmel,
don't get no love.
But he's only really good when he's doing the rated R superstar. That's about it.
Superstar.
He just
Okay, awesome. Okay, let's get into this.
Let's get into it. Okay, so the first point and probably the biggest point I want to make, apparently there was no tags. There's like no such thing as tags in 2001. People are just jumping in and out of the ring, switching. They're like, hey, that's okay, I guess.
Where did the rope go?
There's no designated tag rope.
And when they tag you in, they you got to hold it, you got to tag in. Then all of a sudden it was like you get Edge and Christian. Did you guys tag out? Yeah, we tagged out. Not like the last pay-per-view we had for WCW where you got the referee asking, does the crowd, did they tag out? Did they tag out? He just asked them.
Yeah, you're right. It was just it was weird. Like I said, yeah, we had referees asking the crowd. We've had referees like super enforcing the rope. Like, you got to hang on to the tag rope. You got to make the tag. Like, and then this one, he was like, I think I heard a slap. Okay. And he just went about his business, and this happened all match long. But like I said, once the Dudleys hit the ring, immediate action. Edge and Christian try to run, but they don't get too far. Devon looks good early. Bubba looks just as good. Edge and Christian finally gained momentum after a cheap shot by Christian. Devon tried to make a comeback, but Edge shut it down quickly. Edge was looking for a pile driver, but it was reversed, and Edge was thrown into Christian via slingshot. Devon got the tag, but the ref didn't see it, so that whole thing happened the one time an actual tag was made, and it was it was null and void. BS. And then they go for the concerto. Devon ducks it, hits a big double clothesline. Bubba comes in running wild. They hit the WhatsApp. I love that move. I miss that move.
Yes, I do.
You could still get away with that move in 2019.
No. I mean, you saw it the last time the Dudleys were there.
Exactly. It's you can
The
do it.
last time, I mean, they did the whole "What's up?" I mean, you get everybody in there, you get the crowd going, but nothing like this time.
Right. So they go for they hit the what's up. They try to go for the 3D. Edge comes up with a spear. Devon gets a DDT on Christian. Edge and Christian attempt the what's up, but it gets reversed. Christian went right into the ass of Edge, which was hilarious. And then Edge gets 3D'd and new tag team champions. Perfectly awesome match. Way to start the show. Zero complaints other than the no tags.
Was it the Dudley's first time winning the titles? Because they were really
I
celebrating.
want to say it was their first time winning the titles since they came from ECW. I believe that.
Right. Because I wrote down in my notes to ask that question because the way JR was putting them over, it was like the Dudleys finally did it, and I was like did it again or like for the first time in WWE?
No, like
right?
if you look at
that one, I should have researched. That one I didn't even think to check. But hey, if it was their first time, getting it over, then I know they had a good series going back and forth in the
power to them
throughout the year.
Yeah, no, it was like I said. If Bubba sold it like it was their first WWE win or WWF title win, so maybe it was.
Well, let me point something out. You know that Devon wasn't even actually the legal man.
Oh, well, he was not now.
It was Bubba Ray because Bubba Ray was the last one to get tagged in, and Devon was the one that got the 1-2-3 win.
Oh, I had not a clue. So that's interesting. Oh yeah, no, that was the oh no, that's WWE. No, hold on. They are 8. Holy crap, they are 8-time WWF World Tag Team Champions. So yeah, I guess that was the first to many. So congratulations to them. Good match. 4 stars. I'm jumping it off hot. This match is awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, there was nothing about this match that I hated. I mean, I have because it was beginning to end. It was just a great match.
I knew going into this pay-per-view that you guys said it was one of the best Rumbles ever. And so I just tried. This is what I tried to do with this match. I tried to not let my nostalgia think for me. I just went if I was seeing this match for the first time at the time, how would I feel about it? And I went, you know what? This was a solid match. There was nothing surprising here. There was also no complaints. So I just started out with giving it a 3 because I was like, I want to see what else is on this card. I don't want to have Raiders remorse where I go oh, this match was a 4.5 or a 5, and then later on there's a match that was way better than that, and I have to think back on that rating. So I just went, I'll give it a strong 3.
Out of this pay-per-view, I have 2 5s, so that'll just tell you
really?
where I'm at on this.
I'm close on that. I got a 5 and a 4.5. So, but so we have 2 5 stars for the first time in Retro Rewind. It's probably going to be the same match. I'm sure of it. So
For some reason, I didn't give out any 5s. I think I gave out 2 4.5s. So I got pretty close.
That's still respectable. Maybe I just have, I don't know. Maybe I'm more biased. Who knows? Who cares?
I was just grading hard this time for some reason.
Oh, yeah. He's just that's it. He's all, no curve here.
Right.
This isn't grade school.
All right. Go ahead. Keep going.
All right. So we'll just keep on going right after the gigantic celebration from the Dudleys. A limo pulls up. You think it's somebody important? Nope, it's fucking Drew Carey. And I'm like, holy shit, I forgot about this guy. And every time I think of him, everybody thinks you're supposed to think of because he does the not the Wheel of Fortune, the Price is Right now.
Price is Right.
And it's I don't think of that. I don't think of the Price is Right of him. I used to actually watch the Drew Carey show back in the day.
Me too. Oswald.
Hey, I did too.
Okay, so I'm glad that we're all in the same boat. But the thing, every time I see Drew Carey, I don't know why, I think of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Because of Mimi.
Exactly. But every single time I see him anywhere, whether I'm flipping channels, I catch, Price is Right or tonight, I'm like, I think of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Well, there's two things that I think of, and it's funny because my son and I actually watch clips from Whose Line Is It Anyways? So,
Yeah.
so it's more often than not, it's either the Drew Carey show or one of the original Whose Line Is It Anyway?
That was a
And
funny
and
show.
to me, it was like that. That's how I associate him. But I know Mimi was in the Rocket Horror Picture Show, so that one I'll give you guys.
She was in that? Who was she?
No, she
No,
wasn't in it. She was into it.
no, she wasn't. I mean that's how I think of her. Sorry,
They
my
had
bad.
that. They had that whole episode like based on that and something else. I forget.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I was going for. Sorry, my fault.
Anyways, we get a rare from nowadays, even though not so rare as of the last couple of weeks. Vince promo from Sunday Night Heat that was apparently on MTV, which I don't remember any of that. And
You don't remember it being?
I
on
don't
MTV?
remember it being on MTV. I swear to God, I remember it being on
USA. Right?
on USA where it
Yeah,
originally
it used to
started.
be on USA, and then it was on TNN, the Nashville network, for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then it went over to MTV.
Yeah,
But I don't know where it ended at. That's the one I don't know.
That one I'm not too sure myself. But anyway, he's there and he's talking about Stone Cold will be in the Rumble and Triple H will not be punished for pushing Stone Cold on SmackDown, so he still gets his title match. Then we go to Triple H backstage, and he wants to make sure that Stephanie being out there won't be a problem. She assures him that she won't be a problem, and she's even willing to provide backup if Trish were to interfere. Random as hell, Drew Carey shows up. He says he's looking for Vince to help him plug his special. Instead, Triple H leads him towards Trish's locker room, where we cut to the APA going back and forth about them showing it. Like, let me see yours. No, let me see yours. No, let me see yours. Like, that was a little weird. And they're just showing each other their spot in the Rumble. And then Crash Holly comes in like a freaking maniac. He's like, look at here, guys. We're friends, all right, buddies? He's like, but if you guys get in my way, I'm throwing you over the top rope, all right? And he just walks out. Bradshaw looks at Farouk and says, and they call us drunks.
By the way,
Am I
RIP
Am I
Crash
the only
Holly.
one that wanted that door?
Yeah, I wanted that door too. When
When
I
I just said APA.
when I saw Crash Holly, by the way, when I saw Crash Holly, at that point I started, because this is what I'm doing every pay-per-view now. I can't help myself. Every time I write down a superstar that shows up that's like actually dead today, I just make a note of it for some reason, because it's starting to hit me as we watch these shows, guys. How many people that we used to watch that aren't even alive anymore? And it's like Crash Holly, rest in peace. And then there's down the line, there's like 2 or 3 more people that I ended up having to write that for.
Yeah, that's the kind of, I guess, the unfortunate reality of the old days of 17 years ago. And one guy who's gone in our next match, this may touch some people, this may aggravate some people, but it's Chris Benoit, the current Intercontinental Champion, facing Chris Jericho in a ladder match. The awesome video promo showed off their awesome matches. It was great. They didn't say a single thing in it except for, I think, Benoit at the end said he was gonna like break his arm or rip off his arm or something. And
Great,
it was great video package.
yeah, it was awesome.
So
I'm not gonna lie, because I still kind of get that eerie feeling every time I see him, and it probably will never go away. But I know inside I've stated this before, inside that ring, I know what kind of wrestler he was. And just knowing all the other stuff that happened, it still, like I said, it's still kind of it's kind of eerie to me. But I'm okay with this match. This match was actually my 5.
I'm glad that you said that, because this is my 5 also. Unlike some, I do not get that eerie feeling. Chris Benoit, as I've stated numerous times over and over again, was a big part of my life. For a while, I was in shock over the tragedy that had happened, but I still love the guy. Sometimes people aren't in the right mind and things happen, but I loved him. So I'm going to stop dwelling on this whole thing. I want to get into this match. I do have a freaking book written on this match, so I apologize for the length of this now, but it was awesome. No time was wasted. The match starts off. Jericho starts hot, landing these big chops. Benoit just goes straight for the crossface. It's reversed into a Walls attempt. Shoulder buster by Chris Benoit. I missed that move. Nobody does it anymore. Classic move. Anyway, shoulder tackle, then sent flying to the outside of the ring. While outside, Jericho is sent into the post. While Benoit brings a ladder into play. Jericho down after being sent into the steps, but is back up, and it stops Benoit from climbing the ladder, which was weird. Jericho the first to use the ladder as it hits Benoit face first. Jericho continues to use the ladder, but Benoit turns the momentum around as he slingshots Jericho into the ladder set up into the corner. As Benoit's trying to capitalize, he attempts a tope, but Jericho meets him with a chair shot to the face. He killed him. Jiminy Christmas. That one was bad. Benoit gets dropped over the top of the apron while Jericho climbs the ladder for some dumb reason, and he just gets slammed into the barricade. Benoit stays on the offensive, punching Jericho with chair shots and the ladder. Then Jericho comes right back as he ties Benoit into the ladder and then sends it crashing to the mat. Let's see, ladder shots by Benoit end up getting drop kicks it into Jericho. Big back body drop. Benoit sets up the ladder into the corner, and instead he gets sent into it by Jericho. Jericho eats the ladder, swings the ladder right into the face of Benoit. It just goes for a while. Once Jericho he sets the ladder up, he has Benoit underneath it, and of course Benoit is going to flip it underneath it. Jericho, let's see here. I can't read what the hell I just wrote. All I know is Jericho got freaking killed. This thing goes on and on forever. Multiple times they're getting thrown off, just killing themselves on the rope. This was an incredible match. It went back and forth. Jericho does win it in the end. He's able to get Benoit just long enough for him to climb the ladder and retrieve the IC title. It did take a little bit too long in my opinion, but it was excellent. Absolute 5-star match in my opinion. And that's just not because I love Chris Benoit. It was excellent. God damn my chicken scratch. I should have typed this. Anyway, what do you guys think?
You know what? I can tell you this much. When you watch this match, if any of you guys decide that you want to go back and watch this match, look at the shots, the head shot alone, and sells every single one of them. There is no point in time where that man does not sell anything that he got hit with in this match. From every ladder shot to every time he fell for that thing to every time he hit the floor literally he sold everything.
I got down when Benoit does the suicide dive through the ropes and Jericho pops him with the chair. Just fantastic. And I think he saved Benoit because, as you can see, Jericho used that chair to stop Benoit's momentum. If he had not, Benoit would have went headfirst into the barricade because he had too much steam on that jump. And I think he probably saved Benoit's neck. The other thing is that Jericho worked really great with that ladder. I mean, he just kept finding creative way after creative way to hurt Benoit with that ladder. And then at the end, with that, inverted like walls of Jericho at the top of the ladder, and just I thought it was a really, really great match. And again, I was trying to be a little bit reserved in my rating, but this was my 4.5.
Still great. Still great. So 2 5s and a 4.5. Not after a 3, 2 4s, and this pay-per-view is off to a great start. Next, we see Drew Carey showing up in Trish's locker room. She says she's with somebody, thank God, because he's fat and not attractive. Vince shows up. That's the guy she's with. So Drew, of course, asks him for advice about about his improv pay-per-view, and Vince is like, you know what? Maybe you should improv tonight in the Rumble match, and we're gonna get you some gear. Now get the hell out of here.
Here's a quick note about that. I actually wrote. I'm so used to WWE having like loopholes in their writing and like not really caring enough to write in a good way. So as a joke to myself, I actually wrote down, okay, they just gave him a spot in the Rumble, but I bet you anything they're not even going to address who he supposedly replaced. And then, to my surprise, later down the line, they actually addressed who he replaced, and I was surprised by that. So, egg on my face.
It was awesome. Okay, it was awesome in my mind.
So who the hell else could they have in the Rumble? And then you kind of go along through the roster and whatnot. And,
and then you forget about people like
the dark
Tiger,
match before this was D'Lo Brown and whoever the hell his partner was.
Mosh.
Yeah,
from the Headbangers.
And,
Tiger Singh.
I maybe one of those guys we're gonna see it.
Ali Singh. I barely remember that guy. I remember his dumb name, but that's it. That's the only thing I remember about him. So,
you remember D'Lo Brown?
Fuck yeah, I remember D'Lo Brown. That was my dude.
You're looking at the real deal now.
Like he had a badass theme.
The real deal now.
He had a badass theme. So, let's see here. We have Billy and China are in the back. Billy tells China that he should that she should listen to him, not go out there, and if he's not going to listen to her, at least listen to the doctors. And
Moses Marquez.
Yes.
As soon as they showed China, my first thought was, damn, she looked good. I it's been a long time since I've seen China, and the last couple of times I saw her, it was like really like when she first started with WWF, when she kind of still looked like a little like manly. And there was one point where I was like, is she China or is she Xena Warrior Princess? But when they showed her on that night, I was like, everything is looking right. Everything up front, you feel me? Like the whole damn. I was like, yo. All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
where's that one night in China?
Fine as hell.
Yeah.
No, the one of the
I ain't
weird
gonna lie, because you know what? She looked fine as hell. Because damn.
Rest in peace to China.
Rest in peace to China. Hopefully she gets her Hall of Fame bid this year. She's much deserving of it. But anyways, like I said, she says that Ivory has given her no choice, and she feels great. Tells Billy not to worry about her, but to worry about the 29 other guys tonight in the Rumble. This is one thing I loved, and I wish it would come back because I don't like Michael Cole on the commentary booth, but he's probably one of the best ones. Michael Cole is in backstage talking to Jericho. Cole
He looks
asks,
like a rat.
he does look like a rat, especially then compared to now. He asks him the stupid question that all the WWE ladies ask these days. They give a big old long, well, these people think, and how do you feel? And sure shit, that's how he asks him. How do you feel? He says, how do I feel? He says, Benoit's a tough son of a bitch. He says, but he proved him wrong by winning the IC title tonight. And just walks away like a dick.
That was cool how Jericho put Benoit over. You know?
Yeah, I did enjoy that part of his promo, but I mean, I guess, when they work together in WCW and you put on excellent matches there, so fuck it, you put the guy over. It was pretty good. I loved it. Great little promo. Michael Cole should stay in the back, but this is 17 years ago, and ugh.
Yeah,
he was so skinny.
To imagine he's still there.
And to think he was there like 3 years prior, too. So he's been there forever.
There's going to be somebody in the Rumble that I'm going to bring that up with. When I saw this guy, I was like, damn, he's still around after all these years.
Oh, this is going to be...
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be...
One in particular.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to name him now, but one in particular.
Well, we'll just wait till we get to the Rumble. We still have a couple of good matches to get through. Well, one good match to get through. But really quick, I did want to say that JR did mention Drew Carey being in the Rumble, and the King just looks at the camera and says, well, it was nice knowing you. Even though nothing happens to the poor guy. But the King freaking out nonetheless. So we get China versus Ivory for the women's championship. Not the Divas Champions, the women's championship. China comes out, and she has this...
How good was it to hear that right to censor music?
You know what? It was nostalgic. Like I did kind of miss that gimmick, so it was nice to see it. But then in the Rumble, I heard it like 5 times, and it was like, okay, I don't ever need to hear it again.
In that video package, I forgot how good Right to Censor was at being bad guys. I was like,
Oh,
yo,
awesome.
These guys are so fucking good at being heels.
They were excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, but look at
indeed.
it. I mean, okay, go ahead. Sorry, my bad. Go
No,
ahead.
you're
We'll
good.
continue.
I just wanted to say, like, China came out as like the most over person in the whole promotion behind Stone Cold and The Rock. Had this pyro gun that was awesome. But
yeah, that thing I remembered so well.
yeah, it was awesome to see it. But this match didn't last long and wasn't awesome to see. But China's in control early, knocking Ivory over, off the top rope to the floor, then sends her into the crowd. Military presses her over her head, walks the length back, throws her ringside. Steven Richards tries to interfere, but China shuts it down. China hits a backhand, spring into the corner, sells her neck. Awkward 45-minute pause, and 1, 2, 3.
Sells her neck.
I don't know what it is. She just like died. She just died and laid on the floor.
Oh man, word choice, man.
I'm
word
sorry.
Choice.
I'm sorry. I apologize for my wording now. She just she went into like paralyzed mode. I mean, I know that the gimmick was she had hurt her neck. Actually, I don't think it was like a gimmick. I think she actually had hurt her neck.
No, they said that she had hurt her neck. She had some spinal fusion or neck fusion surgery, and then they gave her an option on whether if she wanted to have the surgery or not, and if she did, she would end her career. But she came back anyway, despite the doctor's orders and whatnot. But it was one of those kind of like prolonged, drawn out storyline that
Yeah.
And I believe she won. I believe she ended up winning the title, like not even I believe at WrestleMania or something like that.
Oh, okay, so not too much further down the line. Well, I mean, like I said, good.
Yeah, we won't go that far down the line, but
Yeah.
I believe she won it.
Something around there. Well, I mean, I guess all in all, good for her. This was just, in my opinion, this was weird. This was awkward. I know it stuck to the gimmick that went, that they were building with, but it was just, it was funny. And then, you have dickhead fans back in 2001 yelling like when Sergeant Slaughter come down, they're like, Sergeant Slaughter, like somebody's trying to sell their gimmick and you're being assholes.
Yeah.
So, call me an asshole, but I give it the lowest rating of my history on this show at a 0.5 star.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I don't ever need to see this again.
Here's the thing for me. The beginning of the match where China was doing really good, I thought was awesome. I think it even went into the crowd at one point. The way that it ended, where she sold the injury, and I thought the ending was terrible. But I was sitting here thinking, JR called Ivory sexually repressed. I thought that was hilarious. And I was thinking what a dream match would be that will never happen, but China versus Nia Jax would have been cool.
Yeah.
And then I literally wrote, I get it, but blah, and I gave it a 2 rating.
Oh, wow.
Man, why you got to tug at my heartstrings, man? Because that would have been my dream match right there.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my God. That definitely would have been my dream match. And not because I'm in love with Nia Jax, but that was just my dream match.
Yeah, sure. So Paul, what do you got for this one?
And I'm gonna give it a 1. No. And listen. And I'm gonna explain why I gave it a 1. Look, there was a lot of things that happened in this match. Okay, we got the whole, China being the dominant one. We already knew that, and Ivory selling everything was probably the quality part.
Yeah.
I mean, every hit, the gorilla press, walking around with her over her head, and I mean, she's selling it like like King Kong and Fay Ray. I mean, literally, that's what it was. The big person versus the little person. David versus. I mean, she sold it, as well as she needed to throughout the match, and that's probably the reason why I gave it a 1. And the fact that I still love China, even though all the other bullshit aside. So I gave it a 1. But I mean literally the match, the way it ended. Yeah, I probably would have went higher had it lasted longer, and then something happened. But just the abrupt stop of it was just,
Yeah, like I said, it was a little on the awkward side.
literally hitting the corner, standing, kind of there for a moment, falling down, and then Ivory just coming over, taking the pin, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gone, taking my title, and I'm gone.
It's the part where they kept showing the replay, which literally showed no impact.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
and literally she just hit it like she hit it
she
was
like
above.
barely ran into her.
I mean, she's so tall. I mean, she was taller than the dang where the buckle was at. So it wasn't like there was like this huge impact. She just literally hit it and then just this whole dramatic fall forwards. And other than that, I probably would have given it a higher rating. Like I said, had it gone longer and there was a little bit more to it. But I get it. You had the Rumble. You only had 5 matches. I mean, only had 4 matches and then the Rumble. So, well, 5 if you count the undercard, the one that was on Sunday Night Heat, but we won't count that one.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll leave that one out. But we do get a lot of backstage segments during this pay-per-view. So the first one is Stephanie and Trish get into it a little bit in the back. Steph's looking for a bobby pin. And she's like, oh, here, go ahead. You need more work done than I do. And she's like, and Steph tells her, I have no problems putting my hands on you. Trish tells her, well, I have my own affairs to worry about. Because she's a goddamn little slut. But it's okay.
Speaking of the backstage segments, I just wrote a note that they really flowed really good. They went from one backstage scene to the next like seamlessly, and I really enjoyed that part of it.
Oh, yeah, and it was awesome. Their production value kicks in greatly. So then Drew Carey gets some gear. Kane walks in and then walks out. It just happened. But, it like how Emir just said, it flowed. It made sense. All of a sudden, he's got gear. Kane don't like him. So now once they're in the Rumble together, Drew knows get the fuck out of there. And then here comes Tiger Ali Singh, the greatest faction I've ever seen. Tiger Ali Singh, D'Lo Brown, and Headbanger Mosh, and they're all sitting there fighting who's going to go in the Rumble, who should be in the Rumble. And then here comes Vince McMahon, because he apparently has nothing better to do than to walk around and talk to people who don't matter, and says, well, you know what, guys, here, let me make the choice for you. None of you get a title. None of you get in the Rumble. And they're like, what? Why? And Tiger Ali Singh, he's like, well, who's the superstar you gave it to? Drew Carey. Who is this Drew Carey?
And Vince has the nerve to roll his eyes.
Oh yeah, that's capital Vince right there. It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, speaking of awesome, we're gonna jump right into the co-main event, which is not really, because back then the Royal Rumble was the main event. We have the WWF World Championship match. Kurt Angle defending against Triple H. This match this is another match I wrote a book on. Jiminy Christmas. Yep, that's gonna be a lot.
Just real quick, one note I had from the Triple H Kurt Angle match was, I've noticed this throughout my life, and I've never really spoke on it, but how come? Okay, so like Kurt Angle grabbed Triple H, and he's about to do like a back suplex, and I noticed that Triple H taps him on the back, almost as if to say, "Okay, I'm ready now." And I thought, everybody does that. Why do they always tap the person who's getting ready to get flipped? Will always tap the guy on the back, but the motion happens so quickly. It's like he's gonna flip you anyways. Why do you need to tap him?
Yeah, true. And,
kind of like one of those
preparation.
It's coming.
1, 2, 3, go.
Or it's like, I guess it might be like a countdown as to when he's gonna do it.
That's what I say. 1, 2, 3, go.
You never know.
Right. Yeah, it's just some little weird, like, quick communication, because it's like the guy that's being flipped is the one that taps the other guy, like, okay, go now. It's like they do it all the time, and I'm just like, did you know we could see you? Like, we see that.
No, they know. They have every
They know.
idea. And they don't give a rat's ass. So most of Triple H's matches, they start out like every match from the 1980s. I kid you not, a lockup into an arm wringer.
Very slow.
You know what I mean? Very slow, very, I guess, quote-unquote, methodical. I just want to say mat-based, which is kind of why Angle had his advantages the entire time. Triple H would try to do something, and Angle would come right back. We got the Angle sucks chants early, which I loved. I'm over there chanting, "You suck," as he comes out. That was not a thing in 2001, which was unfortunate. So, they were trying to respect the guy. And he was great. So, you know what I mean? This was a great match. Triple H tries to take advantage of his hands. He whips Angle into the corner. Triple H gets backdropped. Back suplex from Triple H. Angle flips out and goes for a trio of snap suplexes for a near fall. Trip rolls to the floor, takes a breather. Angle follows but gets whipped into the barricade. I want to say like 3 times in all. Then gets thrown into the stairs and then back into the ring. Trips get a drop toe hold, single leg reversed into an Indian deathlock onto the mat. Like, this was the cerebral assassin at his best. You know what I mean? He's sitting there. He's picking him apart. This was what made, this was, in my opinion, what made the match, pretty good. But Angle's able to get back to his knees. I love the commentary team. The King is bringing up his history with Andy Kaufman and says, yeah, they made a movie about it that 8 people saw. That was like the funniest line I've heard. JR said a bunch of funny stuff all night, but that was one of the few. Don't mess with Oklahoma. Let's see here. Trips takes the flare bump. Love the flare bump. He recovers. Angle does crotches him onto the ring post, but Angle counters, pulls Triple H back into the ring. Let's see here. Angle sends Triple H into the stairs, shoulders first. Clothesline to the corner. Triple H hits a backdrop, smacks Angle into the post. Stephanie tries to distract the ref. Triple H gets the chair, and after abuse to that leg all match long, he takes first he wraps it around the post, then he hits it with a chair, hits a knee breaker onto the steps. He's just attacking the leg, going like crazy. Goes for another Indian deathlock. You're getting You're getting the woo treatment because Triple H is just doing awesomely. He's attempting the figure 4, and then all of a sudden, a friggin' brawl breaks out. By whom, you ask? Actually, no. I don't want to skip this. That awesome Razor's Edge from the second rope.
That
was awesome.
That was badass.
I was already jumping ahead. I was like, no, you can't skip the Razor's Edge. The Razor's Edge was incredible. I thought it was one of the highlight spots of the match. Perfect landing from Angle. Perfect. It was just, done perfectly. Triple H goes for a pedigree, but gets double-legged into the turnbuckle, but it ends up kicking Angle into the buckle. He falls up, and then, bam, headbutts Triple H right in the balls. Awesome spot. Angle goes up to the top rope, hits a picture-perfect moonsault. And picture-perfect moonsault, only gets a near fall out of it. And then this is where it slowly winds down. Triple H follows and tosses Angle into the stairs. And then there he is. What the fuck's the name of the ref? The ref's got in the goddamn way.
Chioda?
No, it wasn't Mike Chioda. It was Earl Hebner. Earl Hebner. Triple H ends up getting... No, I know, right? It's one of these 3 guys. Triple H gets the belt, swings it, but Angle counters with an overhead belly to belly. Angle swings the belt at Triple H, but counters with the pedigree to a huge pop. Still no ref. Triple H tries to get Hebner up, but here comes Austin, hits him with the belt, then decides, you know what, I'm going to go back in, hit him with a stunner, throws Hebner into the ring in the longest 3 count in the history of professional wrestling. Angle retains after a 25-minute awesome match that I give 4.5 stars because this was great.
At the time, it hadn't been explained until way after the fact why Stone Cold was out there. So I just remember I wrote like, why was Stone Cold even out there? And then I ended up giving. It was a great match for Triple H. Great slow build. Great like promo and everything. Kurt Angle did his thing. He maintained the championship in a super heel way. But it was nothing spectacular. It was a great match, but it was just that. So I gave it a 4.
Well, the
Solid,
reason,
solid.
okay, now I said I gave 2 5s, and now the reason why I gave it 2 5s is because I knew the history behind this match and the history that came with this match. These guys, I know at that time, within the year time, beat the hell out of each other
Over Stephanie, right?
For this title, just Stone Cold, between Stone Cold, Triple H, and Kurt Angle, they beat the hell out of each other for this one title.
But was this at the time that Triple H and Kurt Angle were having that fight over Stephanie too?
Yeah, and this was about the time that they were having that argument and that fight over Stephanie. That storyline in general, and the fact that Stone Cold became involved in this match, I mean, it took me to that point in time, and I literally I loved it. And from a nostalgic feel, okay, I may be giving this a 5 on a nostalgic feel. And the fact that I remember this storyline like as if it's happening right now, and I gave it a 5, and I still think that there are some great spots in this match, between the two. I mean, because you could see the rivalry there. You could see it and you can feel it between the two. For as much as they were great together in the ring.
Yeah, like I said, it was something
And that's the reason why I gave it a 5.
I was on the border of giving this one a 5. I felt like it had everything. You know what I mean? It had the drama. It had the action. The in-ring work was good. The drama was good. The story, everything was good. Everything was good. I just didn't feel like it had everything to give me that 5-star, but it was damn close. And to be honest with you, if I didn't see such a terrible women's title match before this, I maybe would have been able to, you know what I mean? I still would have been on a, expectation level where it's like, you know what, damn, this match deserves a 5. But that last one killed me, and anything looked good. Yeah. So I just wanted to, like how Emir is, I just wanted to pump my brakes on it, and that's why I only gave it the 4.5. But still, excellent nonetheless. All right.
Yeah, regardless, I still love this match, and I love the storyline that goes along with it. That's why at any point in time in the future that we decide to do anything around this time, you'll still see this this storyline will become a pivotal part of it. Whether we do a year before or a year after, around this time on any of the pay-per-views that if we choose to do one for WWE about this, WWF about this time.
Yep. I mean, this feud was huge. The impact between Stone Cold and Triple H was, I think they had a feud for a long time. I want to say well over a year, but I mean, that's what it was back then. It was, they had storylines that they just, you thought, like, nowadays it's like, oh God, why won't it end? And back then it's like, please don't ever end. It worked, and that was one of them that worked. But we're getting ready for the Rumble match itself. We see Taker and Rikishi preparing in the back, but we get The Rock cutting a promo with Kevin Kelly. The Rock says the Rumble is like one big pot of jambalaya. He says he's sick and tired of asking whether Kane and Taker are together. Rock says it could come down to Bull Buchanan and Perry Saturn, or even Stone Cold Steve Austin. He says it doesn't matter because he's gonna win. I didn't write down all of his awesomeness. I couldn't do it. I can't do it better than The Rock, and I can't mimic The Rock. So I just the highlight points. But if you ever want to see another great Rock promo, Royal Rumble 2001 with Kevin Kelly.
I literally wrote great Rock promo.
It was excellent. But I don't know
you
many
know
of
what?
them that aren't.
That makes three of us. I put that too. I was like one of the classic promos that Stone Cold that The Rock did.
Yeah, excellent promo. So let's jump into the Rumble match. Fink calling it the Royal Rumble. It was awesome. Rikishi gets his package. Why, I don't know. You know, there's all these guys in the opening package. It's like, okay, I could really give a rat's ass. But let's just jump right into the meat and potatoes. The first two guys that started it off, Jeff Hardy and Bull Buchanan. Holy shit. So,
remember when that guy was actually lit?
No.
Neither do I. Neither do I.
I was like, let me see if Moses is gonna co-sign this bullshit.
No. You got me.
I wanted to see if I could carry you guys into that one.
That was funny. That dude said no.
I was born at night, hospital, not last night. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Anyways.
He didn't really last very long. He lasted all but a couple of minutes before Matt Hardy came in, and then Matt and Jeff eliminated him.
Yep, it was this 1 and 2 went quick. You know what I mean? Buchanan went quick. Matt Hardy comes in at 3. They double team, send Buchanan out, and then we get a brothers match. And at first it was good. And then blatant fuck ups. Mainly when Drew Carey was coming down.
Snapchat. I was like, "Come on, now, this is some bullshit."
It was crazy.
That like drop kick that he didn't even kick him, and it was just like,
Yeah, and then Matt kicks his leg. Like, I've seen that happen on the video game. But their moves were like robotic. I was like, "Dude, this is real life. How'd you even do that?"
Yeah, and you guys are brothers. How the hell did you miss that one?
Oh yeah.
You've had literally your whole lives to figure this out.
Yeah. The next competitor out was Farouk.
Farouk comes out, did not last very long, a whopping 58 seconds in the match. Gets eliminated by the Hardy brothers, Hardy boys, excuse me. Number 5 is none other than the special guest of the evening, Drew Carey. Lasting almost a whopping 3 minutes of 2:54, eliminating. Who did he eliminate? He eliminated...
No. Let's
Matt
keep it going. He walked around the ring.
Oh, that's right. Nope, I know his elimination.
He walked around the ring. He kept, waving his hands around. Then Kane's music hit. You see the fire and everything, and then Drew Carey's face just went from like, "Oh damn, I'm just gonna shit my pants and pee my pants right here."
And hops himself over the top rope and says, "See you later."
He hopped, and he was like, "I'm gone. I'm out of here." And then waving to the crowd again as he's walking out, yay!
He says, "Check this out, dude." He said, "I lasted longer than Taz, the Good Father, Farouk, okay, and I got an elimination. Say something."
He's like, "Man, I even lasted longer than Bull Buchanan."
He lasted.
I was sad when Taz came out and immediately got eliminated. That was like,
oh yeah,
dude, yeah.
Put some respect on his name.
That made me mad. That's my dude. Anyway, we know number 6 was Kane. Number 7, shockingly, was Raven. Now, mind you, I do want to mention Kane lasted, I want to say, the longest out of everybody at a whopping 53.
He lasted 53 minutes and 46 seconds.
46 seconds with 11 eliminations. I want to say that is the current record if it wasn't broken by Roman.
No, at the time it was
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns
broke the record.
There you go.
At 12.
I knew he was close one year or did break it, so I was right. He did break it.
But Kane does have the most overall eliminations.
But
in Rumble history, so
while Kane was in the ring, he was the guy eliminating people. Raven came in, he eliminated. Al Snow came in, he eliminated him. Perry Saturn came in.
Raven and Al Snow and Perry Saturn lasted at least once they all came out.
Yeah, we had Perry at 5 minutes, Al Snow at 7, and Raven at just shy 9 minutes. 8:51 to be exact. So, I mean, Raven did get hardcore, throwing all kinds of gimmicks in the ring. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Raven and Al Snow.
Those guys are awesome. Loved them.
Yeah.
Speaking of a guy I loved, number 10, Steve Blackman. I miss that guy. That guy is awesome.
Wait, Steve Bartman?
Yeah, he came in at number 10.
Blackman.
Oh, Blackman. Oh, I thought he said Bartman. I was going to say, is this a Cubs game or what?
Yeah, Steve Bartman. No, Steve Blackman.
Jeff Harvey.
Jeff Harvey.
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah, we're going to
Adley.
say, yeah.
Comes in, lasts 3 minutes. I guess that's okay. Gets eliminated by Kane. Grandmaster Sexay, a minute. Eliminated by
Rest in
Kane.
peace.
The
Yep.
Honky Tonk
R.I.P.
Man.
Yo, I loved Honky Tonk Man's little segment there. Hang on there, big fella.
Oh, yeah, hang on there, big fella.
Hold my guitar.
All my fans want me to sing my song. Hold on, let me just sing my song. Hit the music.
Hey,
And then I
Kane's
got my
head
Kane's holding his
kebab.
head to the side.
Just the honky tonk man, just the honky tonk man, I'm just the honky tonk man.
This is
Man.
before Kane could talk, so he just has to express himself by holding his head to the side. And it's like, oh, that's confusion.
He's like,
Mhm.
oh.
Yeah,
And then wham.
Which dog was that? Was it the RCA dog? The dog that you just turned his head to the side?
yeah.
Oh. That was Kane.
And he's out of there. So I do want to give a quick story. I want to say about 4 years ago, I was working at the San Diego County Fair. Used to be known as the Del Mar Fair, and they actually do like 2 days of wrestling in their section of that, and it's put on most of the time by SoCal Pro Wrestling, the wrestling school out here in Oceanside. Well, the first year I worked there, they had a couple of legends come by, and one of them was the Honky Tonk Man. It's the first time I've ever seen him, and I was like, holy crap, he's too old to be out there. But he was out there doing his thing. He didn't take a single bump, but he was out there. And it was awesome. I took like a 2-hour lunch. So like, where were you? I was like, dude, long line in the bathroom, and I got away with it. So got to see the Honky Tonk Man for free. Thank you, San Diego County Fair.
It took me a long time to find out that him and Jerry the King Lawler are blood cousins.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about to say I thought that was like common knowledge. You do know who Brian Christopher is, right? That's
Yeah, yes. All right, come on, man. All right,
okay. I'm about to say.
you hold my guitar now.
You know who won't hold your guitar? The Rock. That's who won't hold your guitar, and he comes in at number 13, lasting a whopping 38 minutes 42 seconds. Eliminating 3 guys, and the first guy he eliminates is the Good Father, at a whopping 13 seconds into the match.
Yeah, now here comes where everybody is just like, we're just like, okay, now who the hell is Kane eliminating? I mean, he eliminated Grandmaster Sexay, he eliminated Raven, Al Snow,
Perry Saturn, Steve Blackman, Grandmaster Sexy, Honky Tonk Man, and The Rock. He also eliminated Taz.
Eventually The Rock, but I mean, the Good Father came out. I mean, and you had Taz who came out. I mean, literally like 13 seconds and 10 seconds apart.
Exactly. 10 seconds for the Taz to be eliminated by Kane. Out comes Bradshaw.
And that was wrong. I'm sorry, but that was wrong. I mean, Taz, we reviewed him already once before, and, you see how much of a badass he was against Bam Bam Bigelow. How the hell is Vince McMahon doing that to him?
Also, a note on Bradshaw. I can't remember who he hit, but even at that time, JR referred to his clothesline as a clothesline from hell.
Every time he hits a clothesline, it's a clothesline from hell. You're right. I'm not too sure who he hit there. 17 minutes, 40 seconds for Bradshaw. Number 17 is Albert, not Prince Albert, not the A-Train, just Albert. 15 minutes, 53 seconds. One of the many eliminated by Kane. 18 is Hardcore Holly, the guy that would Alabama slam you right on top of your head and would not give a rat's ass, just like he dropped Brock Lesnar on his neck for stiffing him. Hardcore Holly he's just an ass. He's old school wrestling at its finest.
You know what? I really wish they would have pushed him more. Other than just being just Hardcore Holly. I mean, Bob Holly.
I want to say he was a former European champion.
Driver at one time.
He was former European champion, no?
That's not a
Yeah,
push.
but he's
That's
also
not
a
a
former
push. Hey,
hardcore champion, like
back in the day,
38-time hardcore champion.
back in the day, the European title meant a lot. Don't give
No,
me
it
no
didn't.
shit. Don't give me no shit.
Thank you.
I
You
loved
said the
that. I
European
loved
title
that
meant a
belt.
lot. I was like, to who?
To me, goddammit. To me, I loved that belt. Speaking
To
of
X-Pac.
to
X-Pac.
Xbox,
Yeah, I mean, who did it mean more to? The fact that it was the longest reign was like over 200 days, and it was like the British Bulldog.
yep, that's who. That's all that matters. Actually, no, I think Lance. No, not Lance Storm. No, wasn't it Lance Storm? They had it for like forever.
No, yeah, the longest reign is
It's got to be the Bulldog
the
then.
British Bulldog. I believe it's. I want to say 206 days
Okay,
that he
so
had
then
it, and that was when he he was the inaugural one.
some
So
jacked up guy. That's all I remember. I'll say I remember how big of a guy Lance Storm used to be. But speaking of nostalgia and guys who used to be, number 19, people who used to be, he's now known as a different name. K Quick, aka R-Truth, who's been in
That
the
was it.
business for freaking ever.
That was it, right, Paul? I can't believe he was there back then.
yeah, that was the one where I was like, I can't believe he was there back then, and he's
Not
still
only was
here
he
now.
there, he was a vital part. He played a
Right?
big role. Like Jesus Christ.
Well, Jeff and Matt Hardy are still here, but I mean, you look at R-Truth, man. He's been there for ever.
And you expected Jeff and Matt Hardy to still be here, but you look at our truth and it's like, I can't believe that's the gimmick that survived.
Crazy.
And he took a picture with Tupac and Eazy-E.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
So
Speaking-
that just goes to show you how old R-Truth is.
R-Truth older than mofo. Speaking, I mean, considering who the number 21 guy is and was in the Rumble with him, but we're
Right
not
to
going
censor music once again.
right to censor music for the third time tonight. Out comes Val Venus, the man, the former porn star,
Val Venus.
now censoring his wiener.
They
ladies are
they
mad.
were actually going to call him Pal Penis.
That's terrible. Just terrible.
That was funny. They were actually going to call him Pal Penis,
God awful.
but they knew it wouldn't get over, so they called him Val Venus. Just close enough.
Yeah, just close enough. Thank God it's an actual working
That was
name.
probably the biggest fib that I think I'll probably tell on this show, but
Right
that
on.
one was a good one.
We'll take it. We'll take it for the masses. They're like, this is what his name is to me. I have proof. Anyway,
His name is Pal Penis.
Power Penis is what it was meant to be. So speaking of older guys, shockingly wrestling, but not really. I was thrilled to see William Regal. He definitely looks a lot better now than he does. I mean, then than he does now. He just looks. This reminds me of Vince. Like I was watching Raw simultaneously as trying to rewatch this Rumble, and it's like I'd see Vince, and then I'd see Vince on Raw now, and it's like, oh, you're really old. Like really old in a bad way. And that's kind of where Regal's at. Like when I see him, like, oh, he looks great. And then it's like if I watch NXT on Wednesday, I'm like, oh, you're really old.
Okay, well, let's do the math. If Vince McMahon is 72,
Yeah.
okay, so minus 18 years, he's in his 50s. We'll just leave it. He's in his.
And he doesn't
Yeah.
look like he's in his 50s.
No, he's in his 50s in this one.
Man. So, but anyway, let's get back into this Rumble. So speaking of the RIP train, and I don't mean to say it like that, but I do. Test number 22. He goes in. A lot of these guys that are coming in not lasting very long. 2 minutes from Regal, 2 minutes from Test. Number 23 is the Big Show, lasting a whopping minute 23 with 2 eliminations. 24 comes in. There's a crazy drunk Crash Holly. He lasts a whopping 2 minutes 30 seconds. 25 comes the Undertaker, where he is just doing work with Kane. Couple of dual eliminations with them. He lasts 10 minutes 45 with 4 eliminations. 26 is Scotty to Hottie, 47 seconds, the third shortest of the night. In number 27, the eventual winner, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yes, I'm spoiling it now. 9 minutes in. And then out comes Billy Gunn, who I knew was going to come in. Great number at number
The one and only.
the one and only Billy Gunn.
Man. Yeah, I'm an ass man. Oh, wait, wrong
gimmick.
right?
But here comes an awesome guy that
My bad.
I popped for. I knew he was. I didn't know he was in the Rumble during this time. I just remember from WCW Ming, but Haku. You know, we know him now as the Tongan's dad, but it's fucking Ming.
Yes,
I love Ming. 2 minutes 51 for him.
Rumble, man.
It was a great pop for me. I liked it.
Wait, no, yeah, seeing him was good, but then, okay, just think about how he treated Undertaker and Kane in that match.
Yeah.
And he was really no-selling a lot of stuff. And just when you think about, don't get me wrong, I know Ming is a legend in the back. It's kind of weird to me to see, like, Ming, because he's more legendary than The Undertaker with the boys. Not with the fans, but, like, the boys know, like, Ming is literally the toughest wrestler that's ever lived, and everybody's afraid of him. So he was, like, trying to little bro The Undertaker. Like, there was no, like, all these other wrestlers come along, they have a tremendous amount of respect for Undertaker because he's Undertaker. Ming is like, fuck that, fool. I'm Ming, fool. Like, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, now he comes in and just kind of bullies everybody.
I still remember him as King Haku.
Haku, yeah.
King Haku.
No, King Haku. He was actually managed by Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh,
That was in the 80s, folks. Yes, I'm that old. That'll just show you.
Jesus criminy. Older than dirt sometimes. It's okay, though. We still love you.
All right, I'll go bury myself right now.
Speaking of people to bury themselves, I'm just kidding. Number 30 to finish it up, Rikishi. 2 minutes, 35 seconds with one elimination. Is eliminated by The Rock because I did it for The Rock. I did it for the people.
I did it for The Rock.
Oh, shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty.
He shut his mouth already by
God damn it, you fucking got it to it before I did.
So, Stone Cold wins it. I want to say who was the last in the elimination was Kane? Is that right?
Yeah, Kane.
Kane was the last
Kane,
elimination.
Yeah, Kane was eliminated by The Rock.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, no,
by
Stone Cold. Stone Cold, sorry, my bad. Yeah, Kane was the last one eliminated.
Stone Cold. So,
Yeah.
Congratulations, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the winner of the 2001 Royal Rumble. He went on to. Do you remember who he headlined with WrestleMania? Was it Triple H?
Oh shit.
Or was it The Rock?
No, I don't think it was The Rock.
Let's see here.
Or it might have been The Rock. Wait, hold on. Now we're all gonna sit here and freaking Google it.
Nuh-uh.
Or you.
Somebody is. It's okay. It's no problem.
I don't
WrestleMania
even
17, The
remember
Rock
which one
and
it
Stone
was.
Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, it was.
So that was that. This Rumble match, a lot of people are like, it's a Rumble, it's whatever, it doesn't matter. I gave this a 3.5. I enjoyed it. I wish there was a little bit more guys in it that were, different, older guys, whatever. But hey, they got working guys in, which is mainly what the Rumble's for. Mainly get everybody in there. So I enjoyed it. One of the better Rumbles I watched. There are better Rumbles. This was one of my favorites. So yeah, 3.5.
Wow, I gave it a full point higher than you because overall I was entertained by it. I loved everything with Kane. The Rock was awesome, and then Stone Cold coming in at the end really made it fire all the way right down to the wire. So I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I, you know what, I'm with him here on that. That's the exact same thing I did. I gave it a 4 altogether. I mean, it was, it was no, Roman Reigns coming out at number 30, that wild surprise,
That wild surprise with the world's biggest booze.
where everybody just kind of like went, oh, shit.
The whole world was booing their television at that time.
Oh, yeah, I can hear them all the way, I can hear them, all the way from wherever the hell it was, across the damn country.
And across the country.
Let me throw out a few notes right here. This
Go for
was Stone Cold's third time winning.
Jesus Christ,
he
already? He won it in
97 and
9. And I remember 97.
And
98.
because
Back-to-back
97,
years.
90,
Oh, that's right.
97, because 97 he didn't actually wrestle in the main event of WrestleMania. The reason why was because he came back. He was eliminated by Bret Hart, came back in, and then threw out Bret Hart to win the Rumble. And the whole controversy was that was the start of their feud. And everybody thought at the time that it wasn't a work, and it was actually a work, to where that those two didn't wrestle in the main event of WrestleMania. So that was the first time that ever happened. He became the first one. He was the third back-to-back winner, second being Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
In the previous 2 years, in 95 and 96. Hulk Hogan in 90 and 91 were the other ones.
Right on. So multiple time winners. There's different ones all over. But it was all in all, I believe, 5 matches on this card. All but one were excellent. 2 thumbs up. If I could give it 3, I would. I could watch this whole thing, but I will skip China.
Yeah, and if you don't know, a lot of them is like if you don't know the story, I mean, you could either to figure out where everything starts at.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to cut into
ahead of
here.
us because eventually we're going to end up reviewing it, but
Yeah,
to give our own opinion. But I mean, this was by far one of my favorite pay-per-views, and very, as I always say, for me, it's like very nostalgic for a lot of them, and believe me, and I give it 2 thumbs up too.
excellent. Emir?
Yeah, I gave it 2 thumbs up, of course. It was top to bottom, it was one of the better cards. And again, because we're coming off of a lot of like lackluster stuff in today's product, seeing a card that was this good, this well put together, from what happened in the ring to what happened backstage, it just makes it even that much more impressive. Because you feel like the sport should be ever evolving. Like, I don't like it looking back at the old stuff and going, wow, this was way better. I think of the years that people have had to improve, it should improve. But that's not the current state, so it kind of is what it is. But yeah, I gave it 2 thumbs up.
So, excellent
Yeah,
show.
we want to see some sort of evolving, form as far as when it comes to wrestling. And, we could debate this, till pretty much the cows come home. I mean, we all know that
Ooh, cows.
eventually at some point somebody's going to overtake WWE and, it become a whole war again, as far as...
Whenever anybody uses the expression "till the cows come home," I always wonder, where the fuck are the cows currently? And what's taking them so long?
I don't know.
Is it past their curfew?
It's best.
Yeah, somewhere out in somewhere out in Vale.
They're just out there kicking it. They're on the pastures.
I don't know, somewhere out in Colorado, probably.
Oh.
Somewhere out there.
Background noise. Killing myself. Anyway.
Where the deer?
Where the deer and the antelope roam? No? Home. Anyway, before we cut into some songs here.
Good movie. Ever have a chance, check it out.
Never have a chance, check it out. Indeed. So, we're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap this one up. This was episode 5 of the Retro Rewind 2001 Royal Rumble. 2 thumbs up all around from us. Emir, do we have anything going on the RWT page?
Just a lot of our regular shows happening. Some more RWT road trip coming up. And it's kind of quiet right now. We're on the road to getting to 4,000 members, and I think we're about maybe 15 members away from getting there, and that's pretty exciting. But other than that, just business as usual.
So, to help make sure that anybody listening who is not an RWT member, what is the actual Facebook name?
RWT Raw Wrestling Talk.
There we go. RWT Raw Wrestling Talk, the Facebook group to go ahead and join. That is where I guess we call our second home. We talk all things pro wrestling. We go all over the globe of pro wrestling. We have a bunch of different characters. There's many of people that'll hold a conversation with you and intrigue all of your interests, and then some. Some of you agree with, some you may not agree with, but there's never a bad time on that page. So definitely check that out. Check out the YouTube page as well. I want to say it's RWT. Same thing? Is it the RWT Wrestle Talk on YouTube?
Yeah, Raw Wrestling Talk, same thing.
Same thing on the
Yeah,
YouTube.
and then don't forget to hit up RWT Podcast on Twitter. You can follow me at P_Morales RWT. You know, give it a follow. You know, we all do the same thing. I mean, we all basically find stuff online. You know, we hit it up on Twitter. You know, just give us a follow.
Exactly. Twitter is a good way to find us. Facebook our easiest, but again, Twitter. Paul Morales is Twitter. All these will be down in the links in the description on both the YouTube page and on the SoundCloud station. Keep your eyes out for that one. For SoundCloud, we have coming up episode 3 of the Retro Rewind. We'll be releasing Tuesday, the 22nd, so first thing in the morning. I will be getting that out to Emir as soon as he can get it out to YouTube. It will be on YouTube. Episode 4, which is actually... which episode is that? That's the Capital Combat episode. Should also be dropping sometime later on this week. We're going to have dropped 3 episodes of the Retro Rewind this week on the SoundCloud station. Not sure if that's going to fall up on RWT or not, depending on the time of Emir. That is a very timely process. So keep eyes and ears peeled for that one. We're going to try to get this one out a couple of days before this Rumble, which is coming up kind of quickly. It will be on Sunday. Not 100% on a prediction show for the Rumble, but there will be a review show, whether you like it or not. Depending on how many of these special guests will actually be there, it's going to be fun. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that one. We will be coming up with a new list, and I will be sharing it. Either I or Emir will be sharing it on the RWT page. That way everybody can follow along with us. So it's late, and I'm just going to say this. Thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate everything, all the comments, all the views, the love, the retweets, everything. Follow SmartMark Radio on Twitter at SmartMarkR. And, of course, subscribe to the SoundCloud station, soundcloud.com/SmartMarkRadio for all your fun episode needs. This was great, guys. I appreciate y'all. And good night.
Appreciate you too, brother. Good night.
Good hanging with y'all. Peace.